Board electronic meeting notice from June 15th, 2020. Reason is electronic. As a result of the executive order 2020-42 and the COVID-19, June 15, 2020 at 6:30. This will be held electronically to avoid the spread and potential contact with the virus. Our procedures are as follows. Public wishing to address the board to provide input or ask questions on any business on the agenda may participate in the call to the public by the calling of 810-227-5225 or by emailing questions to info@genoa.org. In regard to disabilities, persons with a disability may participate with the use of an attendant or by requesting in advance accommodations to participate in the meeting. So I shall formally call to order the Genoa Township regular board meeting of June 15th, 2020. If everyone would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and
to the republic for which it stands,
one nation under
God, indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and
Free and justice for all. Thank you.
thank you all. That makes it always interesting now with this electronic items. We now will open it up to call to the public. One thing I will remind everyone, due to the fact that it is a little bit more difficult to possibly type in your information or get through, we will be holding the call to the public open till essentially the very end after all items have been so first on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda.
Mortensen moves approval.
I will second that with the corrections that I sent Holly earlier today with the minutes.
Yes, I've already taken care of that.
Thank you.
Hello, Genoa Township.
Are they?
We have the approval. We have a motion supported and approval of the consent agenda as amended.
I guess I put clarification in what was amended.
It was just a clerical error under member discussion. It said,
It's just a typo.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank
well,
you.
in that case,
Number
Mr.
those.
Chairman, could we move the minutes to the regular agenda?
We could, if you so desire, but you have to now, we have a motion and support. Is there a consensus with that, the individuals that made the motion and support?
Fine.
Who was the maker of the motion?
I was the maker.
Jim.
That's fine.
Thank you.
So we're going to move item number 2 to the regular agenda, first item, which is the minutes.
Okay,
Everybody understand?
Got it.
yes.
Got it? Okay, is there any dissenting votes? Hearing none, the motion passes with unanimous support. Now let's move on to the approval of the agenda, which is now item 2, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, correspondence and discussion.
Ledford moves approval of the regular agenda.
Low supports.
Motion and support. Any discussion? Any dissent? Hearing none, motion passes with unanimous support. Let's move to item number 2, which is the request to approve the minutes dated May 18th, 2020.
Okay, regarding item 5 about the per diem policy, it says that I made the motion to approve the per diem policy, but it says we should add the approval of any 2 non-attending administrative committee board members. I don't remember the non-attending. I just remember saying 2 administrative committee board
That
members.
was the motion, non-attending.
That
Yes.
was the motion?
Yes.
That is-
We actually went back and checked the YouTube feed to make sure. So we got this one right.
Okay,
I have
I just-
nothing else.
all right, I just didn't remember the non-attending. Thank you, that's it.
Alrighty, anything else? Hearing none, we have motion and support. Is there any dissent?
Again, I didn't hear the motion in support.
I made the motion to approve the regular agenda.
What about the minutes?
I didn't hear a motion in support. I'm sorry.
I'll move to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll support it. Croft will support.
We now have motion support for item number 2, which is the minutes of May 18th. Is there any dissent? Hearing none, motion passes with unanimous support. Thank you. Item number 6 on the agenda. This is the request to approve HRC Inc. proposal for the design of the Oak Point Water Treatment Plant iron removal filter backwash replacement project as requested by Greg Vitara, our utility director. Is available, I do believe, for questions if one has any. You say it and they appear. What can I tell you?
Nice. Yeah.
Are there any questions, comments?
Are they maintaining a social distance?
Yes.
Yes, it's deceiving on the screen. So they are. Greg, would you care to opine since you're in the room?
Yeah, just real fast. Our filters at Oak Point, they're originally constructed in 1994. And so recently we've had a break of the, one of our, I guess, board. I have some pictures of it there. It's on computer page 40. It's, there's a orifice plate in there that's basically was designed into a pipe nipple that's right in there for when we have iron removal filters. They remove the iron all day long, and then at night they backwash. So we flush high pressure water back through them, remove all the iron particles, and then we go through a rinse cycle. So this orifice plate is for the rinse cycle. It's designed to only rinse at about 100 gallons a minute. We cannot find these anywhere. We've contacted Eco Water or all other suppliers. Because they were made in 1994, they're not made anymore. So what we want to do is essentially redesign a system to use a throttling valve and a flow meter. The flow meter will actually be helpful for us because we can actually determine how much water we're backwashing, because right now it's just a guesstimate based on time. And it would bring everything up into modern standards. In addition to just doing this part, all of our air actuators actually still have wood in them. They're actually wooden frames. So anytime something happens with those, it costs us about $5,000 because we got to have somebody come from Chicago and fly up here or drive up here to maintain them, because we don't know, these wood structures in these air actuators are quite goofy. So we would go with new air actuators. And in addition to the flow meter and the throttling valve, we'd manifold all the filters together so that, you know, we could sequentially backwash them and provide better operation and just newer stuff altogether. The total project cost is estimated at about $150 once it's designed, but what we want to do is design it this summer, get the DEQ permits and stuff that we have to get in the fall. And then in winter, when we can take one half of the bank offline due to low flow, we would do the actual work. And we've kind of rigged up and re-glued in, and we hand cord out a pipe nipple to get it to fit in there temporarily. So.
Greg, you're looking for approval for both the engineering and the estimated construction
Nope,
costs?
just the engineering right now.
That's- Okay,
Just the
Right.
19,200 from Hubble-Roth and Clark.
I got 19.5,
Oh,
but
19.5, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I don't have my glasses on.
So it's 150 plus 19.5.
Well, no. We're just doing the engineering right now, the 19.5. That's it, just the design. Because
Oh,
then we'll
that's
get
how we're
bids,
looking
we'll get
at it?
bids and everything, and then we'll formally award a contract once we get bids.
Yeah, I think he's just forewarning you that this is
Yes.
the first phase. He doesn't really know for sure what the second part's gonna be. Engineering will tell him, right? Is that right, Greg?
Yeah, because we're gonna bid out the projects to several mechanical contractors to get, hopefully the lowest price.
Sure.
well, and I know your paperwork says it, but I just want to remind the members, this isn't general fund costs. This is going to be paid for out of the Oak Point Capital Improvement Fund.
Correct.
So Greg, you wouldn't want a motion not to exceed 169.5 or 170?
Nope, I want to wait till we
Want a
get
motion
bids.
for 15,000 or
19.
19.5.
5.
Low moves approval for that, engineering.
Hunt
For-
support,
Oh, point.
Who was the support?
Hunt.
Okay.
So we have a
Yeah.
motion and support. And by the way, folks, you had the luxury of listening to the spiel that we get to hear at our MHOG Geo meetings from Greg once a month. So
Oh, that was quick. My spiel at those is much longer.
yeah.
So if you want 2 hours of that, come Wednesday at 4:00.
Yeah. Anyways, is there any dissent? Hearing none, motion passes with unanimous support.
Thank you, Greg.
You're welcome.
Sir,
Is there anything else?
Mike is happy he didn't have to explain that. Let's move on to item number 7. This is the consideration of a request by Robert Jaden and Jeffrey Murdoch to have connection fees waived for proposed Tubby's sub shop to be located at the former Lake Chamong Party Store at 1462 U Road. And I believe we have Robert on the line. Is there anything you wish to mention to the?
Yeah. Did you want me to address what I feel right now? Or want me to listen?
I can't understand what he's saying.
No, I can't either.
Your
Not coming through clearly.
your audio is completely disturbed. We could not understand
Okay,
a
hold on.
word.
Okay, can you hear me now?
That's
Oh,
better.
Yeah.
That's better.
Would you like to?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, would you like me to express my feelings now or wait till everybody talks first?
No, you go.
Okay,
It's
well,
out again.
Lake Chamong Market was a market for a long time, and they had people renting, and they had a family of 5 in there. They also have a 3-compartment sink where they have wash, rinse, and sanitize, which we're going to do as well. They sold soup and pizza. The only thing that we're doing differently than what they were doing is we're putting a sub shop in there. I own a Tubby sub shop in Brighton now. I'm looking to not move it, but I have another location in Burton that closed down, and I'm moving that to Howell location at Lake Chamong. At least I'm planning to. The thing is that they said that I'm going to have more water usage, which Lake Chamong, what I found out is they had already existing food and a 3-compartment sink in the back where they were constantly washing dishes, which we're going to do. And they already have that established from the health department. And we're going to be serving food like they were doing. You know, they were serving pizza. We're going to serve subs. That's not going to have any more additional water. The only water usage that we're gonna have is washing dishes like they were doing. And they're actually gonna have soup. We're actually not gonna even have soup. So that takes even more water consumption. So I just feel like that $4,000 that I have to pay should be, I shouldn't pay it basically. I should basically not pay anything because they're actually going to end up using more water than I'm using because they had a family of 5 living there before and they already had a restaurant in there serving food. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. So I hope that you guys can agree with me on that.
Questions or comments?
Yeah, I have a real concern. I understand Amy worked with Mr. Jaden and Mr. Murdoch. And she actually put only, let me see, I think it was like a half of an REU on the property, which is hardly anything. I mean, even a single home has 1. And I also spoke with Ms. Van Marter, and she does not believe that he should be paying 1.5 mils.
Are you?
So,
Not mills.
I can add a little bit to this. So we did a little bit of research, and with the current state of the economy, we're trying very, very hard to work with our potential businesses. We want people in our community. If you drive up and down Grand River, especially, we all know that there's a lot of vacant buildings. So, a Tubby's Sub Shop on Hughes Road there is a great thing for the community. It's good. I will be successful. However, we, and I believe Amy, tried pretty hard to keep the number as low as possible. We charged the residential unit at 0.57, which is an apartment. This is a 1,400 square foot house. So technically it should have 1. So I think, and the applicant might disagree, and I understand that because it's not my money going out of my pocket, but we did try pretty hard to make the number as reasonable as possible. We checked with Brighton Township. There's another Tubby's store, and I'm not sure if Mr. Jaden owns that one or not, but near Grand River and Old 23, and they were charged 3.1 REUs. So we think we're being pretty reasonable already.
Yeah, I just feel like there was a restaurant already there. I'm doing this. The health department has already approved a 3-compartment sink that they've been using consistently. We're going to be using the same 3-compartment sink that they already have established. I don't see how we're going to be putting in more water, washing dishes than they were existing. So I just want to be fair. I understand you gave them leniency, and I understand that they had a 3-compartment sink and you didn't up their fees. Why am I being upped?
Well, people put in things without permits a lot, and that's probably what happened there. This site was originally charged 1 REU through the special assessment district, which was probably underreported. I don't know when the 3-compartment sink went in. I mean, I went in there. I don't remember food being part of the program, frankly. Whether they were having whether they were having, excuse me, whether they were having.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, whether they were having, a crock pot full of chili. I mean, I really don't remember them having food there. But be that as it may, I stand behind what staff came up with, and I really think we could probably justify a higher number, but we are trying to be reasonable in this current state.
Can I get a reduced rate? Okay, forget about eliminating the rate. Can I get a reduced rate? Can you work with me on that? Because there's already a pre-existing 3-compartment sink that had nothing to do with the health department.
Robert, this is a reduced rate substantially from what we could easily have put in on an REU. And unfortunately, a lot of times when things are bought and sold is we discover things that we were not aware of in the past. And so we could easily bring this thing up. And I think that's what Polly was inferring to. We've had a long conversation trying to cover all the different facets, and we're finding that we were extremely reasonable with even this finding.
Yeah, and if we find out in the next year that if I paid this fee and I find out in the next year that I haven't used more water than you're saying, do I get a reimbursement?
Probably not a reimbursement, but if you have all that documentation, I think you could, we could look at that.
Maybe a reduction.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Okay, so
store
if
in,
last year they used, what was it, 3 RTUs last year? I mean, do you know what they used last year when they were existing, their last year, of how much water they used? Do you have that on record?
we do, I don't have that in front of me right now, but that would be easy to do that research. And if you'd like to request a tabling motion, we'd be happy to look into that at the board's pleasure.
However, if I can add real quick, that REU charge is not only based on usage, it's a lot, mostly based on square footage. And you've got the whole.
It's the same square footage that it was, though. The square footage isn't going to change.
Unfortunately, I think the argument about what the previous people were using in there just proves they were underbilled for the original REUs that they should have been charged. And like the supervisor pointed out, you know, a lot of times when things change hands is when this stuff comes to our attention, and we don't know it otherwise.
Yeah, but you have no proof of right now. I just asked you a question that, do you have anything in front of you that shows how much water they have used? And you're telling me that that you don't have proof of how much water that they used in the past year. So what makes you feel like I have to pay more right now?
We do not have that in front of us, but bottom line is this is, as the treasurer mentioned, is based on square footage. And so you've actually been, that property has been underpaying for some time. You have.
Why do I have to pay for that now?
There was a rental, there's a market, there's boaters that come up. So you got a lot going on there, and have.
Well, I want to have a lot going on there. It has nothing going on right now. It's closed down. You know, the city isn't making any money. Nobody's making any money right now. So I'm trying to help the community as well. And I'm trying to put something in there, but I'm getting taxed $4,000 for extra water usage. And I don't see any facts in front of me right now. And I just don't feel like it's fair. If you show me the facts that, hey, they've used more water in the past year, and this is why you guys are taxed me more because you guys have underbid them, I could understand that. But I don't see anything like that in front of me right now. So how can you guys make a decision on something that you guys don't even have any facts on?
We can go ahead then and look back and check what our normal fees would be on a residence of this size. And unfortunately, you may find that you're going to end up even paying more. That's a possibility. So as the manager mentioned, I mean, we can present this for a vote. You can request a table and we can work on getting more information.
I just want the facts. That's all. I mean, I'm not trying to like go against you guys. I know you guys are very professional. You guys run a great, a great program. I just, I'm a businessman. I've been doing business. I own ProMaids. I own window cleaning, Pro window cleaning, Pro hood cleaning. I own a Tubby's in Brighton. I'm trying to open up this liquor store again, put another Tubby's in there. I'm trying to build a community. And I just don't feel like I should be taxed on something that there's no proof on. That's all. It's just assumptions. Right now, we're just going on assumptions, and I'm getting a $4,000 fee.
You're
on
technically
assumption.
not being taxed. You're paying a fee for a sewer system that we have up and down the road. And
But they're
plus,
saying more water usage. That's why I'm paying this fee. How am I? We don't even know it. We don't even know.
Just for clarification, this is for sewer, not water. Now, and we're not just assuming. We have a chart that our staff uses to calculate out based on square footage.
Okay. What was the chart that you had on them? How come they weren't paying more before?
Well,
somebody wasn't doing their job. Why do I have to pay for that?
Our table that we use to determine what you should pay was established in 2014. If we were to deviate that, we would be opening ourselves for other problems with other persons or entities coming and asking the same thing.
Yeah, but now you're opening it up with me. I don't want to bring my attorney and have them involved because I really want to do this store, and I just don't feel like it's fair for me to pay the $4,000 for extra water usage when there's no proof of that right now.
we're going round and round here. We offered that you can have this tabled and we can do more, get you the more information and tell you what it actually would cost. Or we're prepared to vote on this. We're saying the same things.
If we table this, this would not come back to the board until July, so.
Correct.
So I wouldn't be able to do anything or sign a lease or anything until July.
Would be July 6th we'd be looking at it.
Okay, I just want it to be fair because they've been using food, they've been using 3-compartment sink. It's been approved by the health department. Somebody approved it. You know, nobody taxed them. They should have been paying for that before. Why do I have to pay for that now as a a new tenant? That's not fair. You know, I just want you to get in my shoes and see what I'm looking at. You know,
Understand something here.
Well, we really did discuss that, and it was going to be a $10,000 fee to you, and it was reduced to $4,000 because it was supposed to be approximately 1.5 REUs, and instead you're getting less than a half.
yeah. But why do I have to pay for? Why didn't the other people before pay for that? That if it was already used, you going to use the same amount of water that the other people are using.
Can I interject something here? If we do a study, this is to the board members now, and let's say it's a higher use than what this proposal would indicate, would we not have any choice other than to charge that higher fee if it turns out that way?
We would have to. We would be obligated to do that.
So, so that's a choice. Table it and see what it is. If it comes out higher, that's going to be the new number. If it comes out lower, that'll be the new number.
So you think you guys are doing me a favor right now by keeping it low?
This is lower.
We really do. I mean, if
Okay.
Brighton Township looked at whatever rules they have, and they follow the same tables we do. They came up with 3.1. One of the issues we have, and the reason it's so difficult to do research, is their site and this site are both on sewer only. So if your store in Burton, for instance, actually is connected to a water meter, that helps us a lot. And I'd be happy to sit down and talk to you. But I really believe if you get down to what a Tubby's franchise uses, you're going to be looking at a number higher than $4,000. But I'm happy to sit down and chat with you about that.
Okay, now for $4,000, can it be worked on payment plans, or does it have to be paid in full?
We have done payment plans in the past. The board might recall there was a barbershop hairdresser that came in on Grand River, and we did spread the charges over, I think, quarterly for a year.
Correct.
So in this case, we could spread it $1,000 a quarter for the next 4 quarters if that's the pleasure of the board. Because again, we want to help businesses come here. We realize what's going on out there. We got a lot of vacant storefronts. You hit the nail on the head. It's not good for us. It's not good for you. So we try to work with people. And I honestly believe that this is a pretty honest effort in that regard, but it's not mine $4,000. It's yours.
I know, and I want to open the store, and I do want to be involved. I mean, I've been a business person in the community, and you guys have helped me out a lot. I mean, if you guys can do some kind of payment plan with me, like a monthly fee or, every quarter fee, I'd be willing to take it,
Okay.
That $4,000 right up front, especially with remodeling and inventory and stuff that I got to put up with to get that store going, it's going to be very costly. So if you can help me with that, I'd be happy to pay that $4,000.
We have done that in the past, like Mike said, and it's on the quarterly utility bill. So.
And then that'll save us all the headache. If you guys really, I mean, I'm going to use your judgment on it. I'm sure you're here to help me. I'm not trying to go against you guys. If you feel that I'm going to use that water or even more, pay more, and I don't want to pay any more. I'm already going nuts that I'm paying $4,000 right now because of extra water usage. So,
well,
but I can respect that.
And I do trust our staff's calculations, and I do think this is a fair fee.
Okay, then I can respect that. And if you can willing to work with me on a payment plan on that, I'd be willing to go forward with it.
Well, I will move approval with a payment plan provision.
Well, this particular item is strictly right now for, remember, to have them waived. So
Yeah,
No.
Move to deny with Mike and maybe the administrative committee coming up with an agreeable payment plan.
Okay, and I'll support
Thank you.
that.
Quarterly
Supporting
utility
that, Diana? Okay, Diana's supporting, Polly made the motion.
Just for discussion, please.
Discussion?
I just want to make sure you add in that motion that it's on the quarterly utility bill.
Hey, I'm back.
Yes, I do.
I agree.
And the motion for both agreed. It's on the quarterly. We're denying the waiver and looking to work on a payment plan with the manager and administrative staff.
Okay,
Everybody clear on that?
yes,
Is there any dissent with this motion as presented? Hearing none, the motion passes with unanimous support. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Robert.
Thank you. You guys have a great weekend. Take care. I mean, great week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Let's go on to item number 8. This is the introduction of the proposed rezoning and authorization of the statutory notice for a public hearing on July 6, 2020 concerning a rezoning request from the office service district to the general commercial district with the redevelopment planned unit development overlay located at 4525 and 4533 East Grand River Ave and 1098 Lawson Drive on the northwest corner of Grand River Avenue and Lawson Drive. The request is for the following parcels: 4711-09-200-005, 005, 010, 014, 015, 016, and 017. The request is petitioned by BMH Realty LLC. Keeping in mind, this is purely to accept and set the date for the public hearing of July 6, 2020.
Hunt, move approval.
I'll support Croft.
Motion and support. Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there any dissent? No dissent. Motion passes with unanimous support.
And that was Robin and Jim. Thank you.
Robin and Gary.
Robin and who?
Carrie.
Carrie.
Harry.
All righty. We're on to item number 9. This is the consideration of a recommendation of approval for a minor amendment to the special land use site plan for a previously approved special use permit, outdoor storage for Home Depot located at 3330 Grand River Avenue. The request is petitioned by Scott A. Mummer.
Get out of here.
Scott is on the line. And this is for the disposition again of a minor amendment, to the special land use site plan dated 4/29/20.
Yes, this is Janae Momer with at Scott A. Momer Consulting's office here representing the project.
You have, can you enlighten the board on anything in regard to this?
Yeah, so we're just asking for a simple text change on the site plan. Previously, there was an area indicated for tool rental, and we're wanting to revise it to just indicate for merchandise display.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
It appears just a wording issue to help you guys stay in compliance, correct?
Well, let me say, after many rounds with Home Depot and Lowe's on outdoor storage, we agreed, in this case, with Home Depot, on a definition of where the outdoor storage was going to be and what could be sold there. And they wanted to make a minor amendment, and we went a step further. It was something like, instead of showing, displaying tractors, they're going to display outdoor grills or something like that. And we concluded that we were being overly restrictive from them. So we relaxed it a bit. The outdoor sales and storage areas remain as defined, but relaxation of what specifically can go in there. Nobody can predict what's going to sell well during this season and that season. So the Planning Commission felt that supported this somewhat relaxation and minor amendment. Now they still will have to stay in compliance and see and be reapproved every year.
So this is only basically good for a year.
Well, the original deal was only good for a year. It's a
Right, that's what I'm,
same year. It's just within it, there's been some juggling of what's permitted in the storage areas.
well, a grill compared to a tractor, that's quite a difference.
Lawn tractor?
Yeah.
Well, I use that
I
as,
guess that's not true. Now some of these grills have gotten pretty big.
yeah,
Sure.
I use that as an example, but it's,
Yeah, but I think it was an example I saw someplace and I'm thinking, okay, that's pretty creative.
all right, okay.
So are we changing the wording that we received from Kelly Van Martyr?
No,
No,
Oh, okay.
no. I just want to clarify for the board what's really happening there. You don't need to change the wording at all.
Well, if you're ready for a motion, I'd make a motion to approve as outlined in Kelly Van Mark memo dated June 11th.
Lowe's supports.
We have a motion and we have support. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, is there any dissent? No dissent, then the motion passes with unanimous support. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.
Yeah.
Let's see here. At this juncture, I'm going to close the call to the public. Was there anything that came in, Mr. Manager?
no, there was not.
Okay. The call to the public is now closed. Let's move on to correspondence.
There's no correspondence.
And member discussion. Any member discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, I have one thing. We have a yard waste pickup on June 27th, Saturday, a one-time pickup day, because we had to cancel our spring events because of COVID. We have received a number of requests from our residents. A lot of people have been stockpiling stuff in their garages or behind their garages. So we thought it'd be a nice gesture for our customers to give them the opportunity to bring stuff in advance. Was kind enough to work with us on that. So June 27th, if you have any neighbors who have stuff they need to get rid of, yard waste wise, 9 to noon on June 27th. And we'll post to social media.
I think I saw the post on our website. It said 8 to 11. I think that's advanced request.
Okay.
They need to stop at 11 in order to get it to the yard on time the same day.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I have a hunch they might be a little full. So
Yeah.
that's probably a wise move.
You think?
And Advanced has been a good player with all of these different things and adapting to when they get their workforce back and how they can handle things. So a shout out to what we affectionately call was Mr. Garbage, Arcanal, and containers up above with, and now with the leaves and everything, and Nadeem has done a very nice job of working with staff, I think, from everything
Agreed.
I'm part of. Obviously, as you folks are coming in, you notice the basketball courts. No, they won't. They will be flattened out a little bit, that you don't get that bigger jump on a lower hoop. But at least we're able to finally get out there and get that started. So that's moving right along. Also, I can point out that just all around the township hall lately, people have been kind of packing in, just running around and playing and everything else. So a lot of people are antsy to get outside, and it's just good to see that our stuff is being used and the folks are able to use it.
Yeah, I just have a quick update. The applications for the other 11,000 people that live in our township who are registered voters, according to the Clerks Association, those were put in the mail today.
Okay.
Holly, when do you think the ballots will go out?
The balance, they're going to go out today. I mailed
The ballots or
40.
the applications?
The actual ballot.
The actual
Oh, we won't get the 29th.
29.
Yes.
They're not going to go out until you get your signs out, Jim.
Oh. Yes, indeed. Anything else? Any other comments, questions?
Nope.
By the way, we did have today, we had all the employees back at once. It was rather strange. There was a log jam in the building. I haven't had many people in forever. So, but it was really kind of nice. And I think I can pass along to the board that everybody was extremely appreciative, as we were, of them to work with us during this and still ongoing issue. But many of them appeared to be very thankful they were back in the office. I'm not going to say why, because they won't admit it. But anyways, it really was nice to see everybody at once instead of the rotating shifts. So we're back at full tilt unless we hear something else. We're hoping that we go to phase 5 before the next meetings. And if we do, we will be back here in the boardroom, as we will be allowed up to 50 people. So that's,
Are people wearing masks in the office and gloves, or what's?
we have masks available for everybody. We made an announcement. We had a small meeting with everybody before we opened up and said, if you feel uncomfortable, we have the inventory and you wear it. I don't believe anybody has one today. Also, the sign on the door is, because we have those sneeze guards up, which is a lot of protection, is we're not mandating. We just have a sign up that says, you can wear your mask inside, or if you're comfortable or whatever, but we're not mandating folks do that. We also picked up, if you ever want to quickly check your temperature, we got 2 of the little forehead guns. They came in. So
Okay.
that, in the event that anyone is feeling a little iffy, you can, well, I'd say shoot yourself, but that's an inappropriate way to say it. But you can check your temperature, and it takes just a second. And so that's available also. So we also handed out to all of the staff the precautionary plans and rules and regs for all of this COVID stuff. So they're very well aware of all the different things that we have to comply with. That's all. So, but everybody has a hard copy, and they also were emailed something Friday. So we double dipped them on that one. So everybody has that.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Nope.
A motion for adjournment is in order.
So moved.
Martinson.
Croft.
Mortensen and Croft. Is there any dissent? This is always a good one. I don't even know why I asked. Oh, hearing none, motion passes with unanimous support. Thank you very much. And again, hopefully we will see you in person